Alright, welcome to your first homework video. Today we will be covering lessons 1 through 3 in the Saxon math book. I would recommend having Notability open on your iPad as well so that you can just flip back and forth. I will give you some notes to write down, and you can write it on paper if you would prefer. I'd prefer if you would write it in Notability. So here we go. Feel free to pause whenever you need. So the first thing we'll talk about is digits and sequences. This is a sequence, counting by ones, which is how we usually count. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these numbers that we use to count, starting with 1, not 0, are called counting numbers because that's how we count. This is what it looks like when you count by twos. It goes 2, 4, 6, 8. The next number would be 12. And this is counting by fives, which would be 5, 10, 15, 20, then 25. Which you know, that's just skip counting. Now this, if I had to describe the rule for this sequence, it would be adding 2 to each term. And the rule for the bottom sequence would be adding 5 to each term. I would like you in your notes to make a sequence with 5 numbers of counting by sixes, please. So write that down. You can pause me and go do that. Digits. So we talked about sequences. Digits are just numbers 0 to 9. We have 10 digits in our number system. So this number is 24,061. It has 5 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last digit is 1. So this would be the last digit. Okay? This number, 700,000, has 6 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the first digit would be 7. Okay? Even and odd numbers. So a number that can be divided into exact pairs is an even number. So there are 8 dots here, and I can divide them, I can pair them off into 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs, and there's nothing left over. So this is an even number. 8 is even. Numbers that do not form pairs are odd. So let's try to pair this one off. There's an extra, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. This is the number 11, and it's odd because it cannot be divided evenly. Now, when you're thinking of bigger numbers, you don't want to be pairing them off to find out if they're even or odd. So to check quickly, just look at the last digit. 7,029 ends in a 9. 9 is odd, so this whole number is odd. 891,370 ends in a 0, which is even, so this whole number is even. Okay, so place value. You can use money to help you visualize place value, and when we get into decimals, we'll use money to help us visualize the tenths and hundredths. Right now we're just looking at the whole numbers, so $1 would be your ones spot, $10, a $10 bill would be your tens spot, and a $100 bill would be your hundreds spot. So if I have $300 bills, that's $300, right? If I have 4 $10 bills, that's $40. And if I have 6 $1 bills, that's $6. So if I put these all together, my 300s, my 4 10s, and my 6 ones, I get 346. So you see that this is the hundreds place value, and that goes to my hundreds, the number of hundreds I have. My tens place value goes to the number of tens that I have. and my ones place value goes to the number of ones that I have. Okay? Now, if I go the opposite way, let's say I have the number 111. That's 1, 110, and 100. You'll notice that these place values are multiples of 10, and you multiply by 10 to get from one to the next. And if we kept going, you would still multiply by 10 to get to the next. And that's because our number system is a base 10 system. So that's the relationship between the place values. Okay, so if I have 3 10s and 14 ones, I need to regroup. So I change my 14 ones into 10 ones because we know that 10 $1 bills is the same as one $10 bill. So I'm going to exchange my 10 $1 bills for one 10. So that becomes 4 10s and 4 ones, which is 40 plus 4, which is 44. Okay? And this is the same thing just with hundreds. So I have 17 10s and 2 hundreds. I need to regroup my 10s. So 10 $10 bills makes one $100 bill. In the same way, 10 10s can be regrouped to be 100. So now I have 3 hundreds and only 7 10s left, which is 300 plus 70, which is 370. Now, writing the number like this is called expanded form, where you take apart each place value. So both of these, that's expanded form. There are also some on the last board that I had. What you need to do for homework is write these two numbers in expanded form next to the sequence you had to write from the first slide. And make sure you have those tomorrow.